Alright, how's it going, guys? This is DSP News second edition. I'm your host GTG, and let's get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys are doing well. As you guys know, I'm trying to put some effort back into this channel and whatnot. Hopefully I can kind of build a rhythm, get on a little bit of a hot streak and whatnot. So that should be fun. At least I'm hoping. Let me turn this down a little bit. And hopefully we have a good time doing it. Ladies and gentlemen, this right here, at least what I have for you today, is actually part 2 of a video that I've already done. And I didn't even know that this part actually existed. So if you guys don't remember, I'll link it down in the description. And I might try to put like an annotation somewhere, maybe, if that helps as well. But I'll definitely put a link down in the description, and it'll also be at the end of the video. That I had gone over DSP's Nintendo rant, and that's the video where he took his Nintendo Wii U and threw it into the trash, saying that these people own you. This is when Nintendo initiated that program where they could basically get a piece of people's YouTube ad revenue and so on and so forth on Nintendo related content. Anyway, there was a part 2 to that. It was that was a Q&A that he did on his live stream. So I thought it would be kind of cool to go over and give you guys an idea of what the live stream is, so on and so forth. If you guys want to watch the original video, like I said, I'll link it. I'll try to put an annotation, and it'll be at the end of the video if you want. I don't think it's going to have any real bearing. You just get to hear the epic rant on his accord, and I don't think it was about Nintendo. Before we get into the Q&A. Now, here's the title, ladies and gentlemen. This is from the King of Hate Vlogs Special Update Rant Part 2 Q&A live, or Q&A with live stream chat. This is from May 17th of 2013. Like I said, it's on the King of Hate Vlogs. I'll link the video in the description. Realistically, it was him getting emotional over some shit that didn't even affect him at the time, because he was on Machinima, so all of his content was protected. If nothing else, him and Machinima were actually screwing over Nintendo and whatnot, where with them being able to profit off of Nintendo-based content because of his managed partnership and so on and so forth. So why he was sitting there bitching, complaining, and trying to get everybody up in an uproar makes no sense. But Phil has always been a gaslighter, and this right here was basically no different. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get into the video and whatnot. As you guys know, first rule of Fight Club is we don't talk about Fight Club. So that's a thing. That's a thing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and get everything started up, and I'll see you guys in just a second.
Alright everyone, so now I'm back and I'm a little bit cooler down here. Anyway, I'm trying to get my blood pressure back down after those insane rants, and actually I don't...
Insane rants. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with the King of Hate Vlogs Special Update Rant Part 2 Q&A with live stream chat. This is from May 17th of 2013. Here we go.
I think they were insane. I think they were very sane and very valid points. But now what I'd like to do, being that I got so many people on the stream, I did not expect to get 700 people on the stream for me just ranting about this week. I'd like to see if there's a couple questions. Anyone, I'm going to do like an open Q&A. So ask away here in the chat, and I'm going to answer some of your questions, anything that I think is interesting. It's kind of like a live Ask the King, but I think it'll be fun to do it now. So go right ahead. When can we expect the next DSP tries it? Very, very easy. In the next few days. Tomorrow, keep in mind, it's going to be a release day unboxing of Metro Last Light. Sunday, I'll probably be doing the weekend preview. Monday will be Smart Guys. So Tuesday will probably be another release day unboxing of Resident Evil Revelation. So probably Wednesday we'll have a new one. And I have a lot saved up, actually. I do. I actually have about maybe 3 or 4 more that I've already pre-recorded that I think you guys will enjoy. Going back to some fast food, but it's not Burger King, and a couple other products as well. So that's coming up. And of course...
So wait. So they're like, when can we get a new DSP Tries It? I'm planning on filming one in like 5 days from the day that he's recording this. Excuse me. 4 or 5 days. But I already have like 4 or 5 videos already in the clip, and I just haven't put them out yet. So what'd you give all that extra dialogue for? What was all that extra explanations for then? Be like, oh, I'll post one in a couple of days. You know what I mean? I already have a couple of them already pre-recorded, and I haven't had a chance to put them out there yet. One will be out in a couple of days. You don't have to... What was all that extra for? His over-explaining is what gets him in trouble. Or is how people catch him in lies. And the funny thing is, too, and I want you guys to think about this, he's talking about the unboxing of this, the playing of this, the release of this, you know, recording Smart Guys, this, that, and the third. He could do a DSP Tries It any of those days. Shit, he could have done a DSP Tries It the day that John's coming by for Smart Guys. He could have done it any of those days, but he set it up to where, oh, I'm going to designate this day to do it. But that don't make no sense, ladies and gentlemen, because this idiot couldn't cook back then. So almost every day was a potential DSP Tries It, if you think about it. I don't know. Just something to throw out there.
Once I actually start using these headphones and stuff like that, I'm going to have all kinds of new DSP Tries It's coming up.
Yeah, hair is already thinning a little bit up there at the top. Yikes. Yes, Phil, this really needs to be a whole video in itself with just your slightly balding head at the top and nothing else. Make a good thumbnail, though. That's what make a good thumbnail.
A couple interesting questions. One of them is this Ouya that's coming out or whatever. Supposedly it's coming out soon. This is the game console that was developed like off of Kickstarter or something. It's supposed to be this like, I don't know if it's open source, but it's different from existing game consoles. People are saying, I'm not going to get it. My question is, does it have games? Like, who's developing games for it? I haven't been following along the news, but I haven't heard any major announcements that any major games are coming out for it. Why would I buy a game console that has no support for games?
Why would someone put out a game console with no games? And if you don't know anything about it, just say, oh, I don't know, I'll wait and see what happens. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's looking at it as, well, is Nintendo going to produce games for it? Is, you know, Microsoft going to produce games for it? You know, are the big studios that work with those big console manufacturers going to work with them? Just say you don't know yet and you'll look into it instead of giving all the extra.
Oh, alright, you know what, I will address this, why not? You know, this is so stupid. It's just so everyone knows, over the past month to month and a half, there have been these, I guess, 2 people, I have no clue who they are, alright, no idea, who, I guess, went back and watched my Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 playthroughs and did, like, montage videos of me failing at the game and then making, like, snide remarks and insulting commentary that I...
Uh-oh, ladies and gentlemen, I think we just hit pork loin. So this must have been This Is How You Don't Play territory. So now, ladies and gentlemen, you guys are going to actually hear, if this is what I think it is, you're going to get to hear a little bit of how all this started. Now, as you guys know, This Is How You Don't Play was thought up and started by Evil AJ, and allegedly, the legend goes that the reason why This Is How You Don't Plays exists is because Phil banned Evil AJ from either his forum or from his YouTube channel, or at least the comment section, because Evil AJ felt like Panda Lee was changing Phil's attitude, and bringing down his the quality of the gaming of his gaming commentary, allegedly. So, let's actually hear what Phil has to say about This Is How You Don't Plays.
Suck at the games, okay? And I guess I don't know if they have fan bases or whatever. Again, I know nothing.
Now remember, the mythos was that the trolling didn't really get heavy till like 2015. On top of that, the other situation was, the other part of the piggy lore, piggy mythos is that, I didn't really, what was it? The other part of it was, oh my God, what was it? This Is How You Don't, at first I didn't care about This Is How You Don't Plays, and then it started to really like gain steam, and so on and so forth, and then it was really making me look bad, and then I had to take it down. But remember, the caveat to that is, I was just playing games, I wasn't taking it seriously, you know what I mean? I was just throwing it up there for shock value, I was just having a good time with it. I didn't take this seriously, I didn't care that much. Then why is it that you went ahead and went at This Is How You Don't Play so badly? Why was it that you were trying to take down, well, he did take down the original and then it got re-uploaded later. But why was it that you and Machinima were throwing your full weight behind trying to get that stuff taken down if they're montages of games? If This Is How You Don't Play were basically montages of games that you didn't really care about, you weren't taking seriously. Why is that a thing? So let's see if we can hear some of the hypocrisy back in 2013 about that.
About these people because I don't care about them, but I guess their fan bases have taken it upon themselves to try to like troll me here on Twitch and also on other video series and on Twitter. And every once in a while I see the dumbest shit. Like, you really suck at Metal Gear Solid 4. I thought that I sucked at Metal Gear Solid 3, and then I saw DSP play it. And to me, here's the thing. This is how dumb it is.
Here, let's talk about that for a minute. So we're on Twitch right now. 2013, we're on Twitch. 700 viewers. To hear him rant. He basically pulls about 700 people to 1,000 people now when it's a rant or some type of drama. He's literally come full circle. When he started on Twitch, he was able to pull pretty good numbers. You know what I mean? He was able to pull pretty good numbers. And if he had stuck with it for all those years, instead of leaving like a little bitch, he would at least be prioritized higher in the Twitch directory. But that's neither here nor there. We can talk about that later. But he has 700 people in May of 2013. We're in, now that I'm recording this, we're in mid-March of 2020. We're in mid-March of 2020, and he can barely pull 500 people, and he can only pull in 700 to 1,000 people if the drama's flowing. Damn.
And this is all I have to say about it, because it's a very simple fact. Number one, when I started those playthroughs, if you actually watch them, the first thing that I said in them is, I never played these games before. I actually missed out on the Metal Gear Solid series, and I was playing it now because I wanted to at least experience it, and that I would probably suck at the games. Like, I literally said that as a warning, a preemptive thing before the playthrough start. What do they call that? Discretion advised or whatever. I said that before the playthroughs. So anyone who watched part 1...
You mean a disclaimer. That's what he means. He means a disclaimer.
And then went on and got upset or angry that I played the games poorly is a fucking idiot. Like, you did that to yourself. If you're a fanboy of Metal Gear Solid 4... I'm sorry, Metal Gear Solid 2 or 3, would you watch a playthrough of someone who openly admits in part 1 they never played the game and are probably going to suck at it? So, you must have something wrong with your head because you like to torture yourself, okay? In addition, and this is the thing
wait. So you're implying that the people who came and watched you play, despite the disclaimer that you gave them, they were basically torturing themselves going through and watching you fumble through these games. And you didn't learn anything as you moved along through the game like normal people would. And because of that, they're assholes for doing This Is How You Don't Plays or for liking and engaging with them. because you had already given because you've already given the disclaimer that you weren't good at them. That's not protection. That's not troll shielding. You were playing shitty and whatnot, and someone threw it into a montage. But then that's different because, like I said, current pig lore is I didn't take myself seriously in my early years of YouTube, so I just played games however way I felt like playing them, and that was that. Now he's sitting here, but in 2013, disclaimer, I'm not good at these games. I didn't play them because I devoted all my time to Street Fighter, only to get 4th place at EVO and fail. And now I'm coming back to play these games, and I'm not going to try because I'm not really able to learn, right? Unless that's just beaten into my goddamn skull. So you guys can't get mad at me, and you guys have no right to do this is how you don't plays on me. Yikes.
Really gets me through all this is that, so let me get this. I did playthroughs of these games, and you took the time to watch the playthrough and give me money for it. Because whether or not you watched the ad, that's not what I get credit for. I get credit on my machinima contract based off of views, okay? So you watched the whole playthrough, you paid me for it, then you made a video to make fun of me and be very malicious in the way that you did it. It wasn't like fun-loving. It was pretty malicious and nasty the way that these guys made these videos. And
what do you care? You got paid for it. Thanks for the money, dummy. Why is he bitching about this? You got paid. Like he said, this was when he was getting paid for the views, not ads. So who gives a fuck if Evil AJ had to watch each and every video of that shitty playthrough of Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 to put the montage together? That's money in the bank right there. Each and every time Evil AJ had to watch that video, he got paid. And you still crying about it? Wow. That's really pathetic. Even in 2013, it still sounds pathetic.
Then you make it public, and then all of a sudden you tell your fan base to make fun of me or whatever. There's one small problem with this. I played those games over a fucking year ago, you stupid morons. Like, how slow can you be? I mean, it's not like all of a sudden someone said, oh, look, Phil's Metal Gear Solid 2 playthrough is a hot topic. I played those games a year ago. Really? Like, dude, it's not even pertinent anymore.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot. That's why Phil's upset. So Phil's mad because those playthroughs were a year ago, but the This Is How You Don't Plays must have came a year later, and now that shit's blowing the fuck up, and they're getting all this attention. Phil's sitting here telling us, oh, why didn't you do it when the iron was hot? Why didn't you do it when the bacon pan was still sizzling? Why didn't you get me then? Instead, you guys waited a year later when those playthroughs on Phil's channel are already dead, and now you're going to do this and get a bunch of popularity and get a lot of attention. That's what Phil's actually mad about. Oh, you greedy son of a bitch. So, let's get this straight. Let's play this a little bit. Because the algorithm back then is kind of wonky. Kind of. At least from what I've heard. So, Phil would have rather them make a This Is How You Don't Play on him back when he was still playing the game. So, if that shit ended up boosting up in popularity, his videos would get basically piggyback off that. Since it's not around that same time, and since it's a year later and they're drudging up, they're digging up his past failures and getting a bunch of popularity off of it, he's not getting any of the residuals off of that. He's not getting residual views on his This Is How You Don't Plays, or sorry, on his playthroughs, right? Because no one needs to watch that shit because they already have This Is How You Don't Play. So this is literally all financial. He's literally pissed off because he's financially not benefiting from this. And if the playthrough was from a year ago and it's not pertinent, he can't sit there and cry and say, oh, well, they're ruining my popularity. How could they on a playthrough that's already dead? Or on 2 playthroughs, if you will, that are already dead and forgotten. And forgotten, sorry. Oh, I taste that saltiness. Oh, I taste all that salty. I love salty bacon. I really do.
See if they took a playthrough I did a month ago in a game that I played really poorly and they want to make fun of me for it. It's been out for forever. So anyone who wanted to fucking do that would have already seen it. So all you've done is lured your fans to my videos to watch them, to see how bad I am at the game, and I got paid for it.
How do you figure when they don't need to go back to your video to watch how bad they are? They can just watch the "This Is How You Don't" plays. And more importantly, the comments that came off of that went into "This Is How You Don't Play" came off of the old videos where people were shitting on you for how bad you're playing. How stupid are you? Like, you realize that doesn't make too much sense, right? And don't get me wrong, I don't make "This Is How You Don't Play," so I don't have like the full process of how these guys did it back in the day. But I would assume that whenever they decided to actually go and grab the comments for those videos and grab the videos themselves, they got all that at once. So all the comments that you see in those older "This Is How You Don't" plays is pertinent to the time that those videos were out. Not later on. Like, it wasn't like Evil AJ went on Twitter and was like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna make it "This Is How You Don't Play." Go and watch Phil's videos and make your funny comments so I can snatch those shits up and put in my video. I don't think he did that. I don't see a need for him to do that. Phil's an idiot. Phil's an idiot. And then, why are you complaining about that? Why are you crying about that when you got paid? He's admitting it right now with his rape face that he already got paid, and yet we still crying. Yikes.
You're the idiots. You're the idiots. I just, like, how is this a loss for me? It makes no fucking sense. So, people are
baby Snort.
complete morons. They think that, first of all, here's the other thing too. So let me get this straight. You make your YouTube presence based off of making fun of other gamers? Like, that's your thing?
That's what you do. So what's the difference? It's not too much different, except for they added a bit more creativity instead of just saying, "Oh, Timmy Turner ain't shit." Oh, or not Timmy Turner, sorry. Tobuscus ain't shit. I Justine needs to go back to making vlogs. That bitch ain't a real gamer. Mitch Dyer's this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they actually, "This Is How You Don't Play" requires time and creativity, not just talking out of your goddamn ass so you can complain about that years and years later saying it was all jokes and it's your fucking fault that people fucking hate me. Dumbass.
Your niche. So you don't put out actual entertaining content. You don't have any kind of content of your own that you can provide. You have to basically find people who are bad at games and make fun of them. That's your niche?
What they do is transformative. Just like how you being shitty at games is supposedly transformative. Or you playing a game poorly is transformative. Which is the same argument you try to make with that, whatever that petition was back in the day that had a bunch of you guys scared that you guys couldn't make money off off video games and whatnot. And you guys made the argument that, oh, it's transformative because if you're playing the video game, that's transformative because the game can't play itself. Well, okay then, if someone takes your shitty gameplay and cuts it up into a montage and adds different things to it and so on and so forth, does that not make it different from the original product or from the source material? That makes it different. That makes it transformative. That's why it's protected under fair use. That's why you abused the system when the first "This Is How You Don't Play" went down. So what the fuck you talking about, dude?
I could do that too. It's called go watch fucking Tobuscus or one of these other people who are horrible at games. I could do that.
Told you.
Too. You know what? That's a lot easier because I don't ever have to pick up a controller or put any effort into anything. So why don't I do that? Oh wait, I'm not a fucking hack. I actually work. I actually say I'm good.
Oh shit, I actually work. This right here would be a great screenshot. Ladies and gentlemen, this right here is from our special collection of Delusion. Okay? This is a signature piece, okay? The Galtopian Museum of Unnatural Art. You can find it on Twitter. They also have a YouTube channel and whatnot. You can find very elegant screenshots of different things, right? That's what we do here. This right here is one of them. This right here is the Delusion of Pigman. So it's a rare piece. A rare piece. There was only one. They only created one. There was no reprints. It was never repainted or anything. There's just one. And it captures a moment in time where where someone put too much value or overvalued, overappraised themselves and what they do, and had the nerve to say that playing video games was work, and literally believed it. What a fucking moron. Look at him. Oh my god. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. Phil, you're lucky this isn't an auction, because I would definitely auction this off. This is special. I'd love to see this in the back of like Tevin or like James the Lesser's office or something, or Agent Proper. That should be fucking hilarious.
Apply myself to a game and try to play it and try to beat it. I don't just fucking make fun of others, because I actually have something called skill and talent. Now let's get...
I have skill and I have talent, but I admit that I'm bad at video games. So where's your skill and talent at? Another piece from our delusion, you know what I'm saying? Hooves up, eyes closed. Yet again, another signature piece from our collection that depicts an individual who literally contradicted himself and whatnot. Was honest with you. He was honest with you at first and said that he's bad at video games. It is what it is. Then turns that shit around and says, I have skill, I have talent. That's why I'm not a hack. Though admits that he's really shitty at video games. And then pointed out other YouTubers who were his quote-unquote competition and how shitty they are at games too. We've contradicted ourselves on a bunch of different levels here, but let's keep going.
Me straight here. I'm not saying I'm great at games. I know I'm not, but there's a reason why people watch my content.
Didn't you say that you could sit down and play any game at a professional level? And didn't you also say that you may be one of the best gamers in the country? You said all these things around this time period. Oh well.
They find it entertaining. And a lot of the times people mistake me for someone like a Toby Turner because they say that, oh, maybe I'm purposely trying to fail. The bottom line is I'm not. A lot of games I really suck at, okay? Again, I missed an entire generation of games that probably would have taught me about these things, and I wouldn't be failing at games today like I do in a lot of cases. But I don't suck at every game that I play. There are a lot of games that people even say, how the fuck did Phil beat that in one go? You know, a lot of people, reviewers and people complain about God of War Ascension in this one part called The Trials of Archimedes. I one-shotted it. So it's not that I'm completely horrible at every game I play. Yes, I am bad at a lot of them. I'm not going to lie. I mean, the evidence is there.
Now, let's talk about that for a minute. Now, has he done some of that? Sure. He's done some of that now. There's certain bosses that he'll beat on the first try, which comes across rather suspicious. Reason why it comes across rather suspicious, ladies and gentlemen, is not to diminish or take away from his skill and or lack thereof. Excuse me, depending on how you want to look at that. But Phil's a cheater. So you're telling me that Phil didn't watch somebody else do a playthrough of that same game and get to that boss? And Phil didn't look at the strats? That's the proper term for it. Look at the strats for how to beat that boss and then use it for his upcoming playthrough? You're telling me Phil's above that? Because he's not. We saw that in, is it Sekiro or Sekiro? One of the two. You know what I mean? He's doing it for that. I think right now he's playing what? Or he's just finishing up Neo 2? He's probably done it for a couple of those bosses. That's what Phil does. He's a fucking cheater. And the more and more that people were getting on his ass about him being bad at games, the more that shit started to pick away at his ego, and the more it picked away at his confidence. So you're telling me he's above cheating? And that's if one would would take the angle, right? Or make the argument that, oh, well, if you're looking at somebody else's gameplay and taking their strats to use it for your gameplay, if that's considered cheating. That's up to you whether you do or not. I don't know if that depends on you. Okay, that depends on you. Let me give you an example. There's a dude named is it Coconut Bra? I think his name's Coconut Bra. He's really big in the Rainbow Six Siege scene. Like he's a thinker. You know what I'm saying? And he's a tinkerer. He comes up with different strats for different maps and different corners and lines of sight. That's what he does. He looks out. He thinks outside of the box, and he finds really creative stuff. His strats, and he makes videos like how-to videos, how to do this, how we're going to approach this, that, and the third. He goes over pro games and so on and so forth. The pros use his strats. You know what I mean? Even if they think some of it's kind of cheesy or whatever, they still use it because it works. It's tried and true. Would you consider that cheating? You know what I mean? I want you to think about that. And the reason why I bring these two points up, right, is because one would say, well, GTG, you're saying that the pros use it and you don't think that's really cheating, but I didn't actually say that. I asked you if you thought it was cheating. I don't actually think that's cheating, to be honest, because he put that out there to make people better, players and better thinkers. How does that make it any different than what DSP does? Because DSP tells us that he doesn't watch other YouTubers. He doesn't watch other playthroughs. When what you're seeing is him raw, when you watch him play, it's the raw gameplay. He doesn't have time to watch other people. He's focused on his own content. Now, I'm not saying that some of those bosses, he didn't just one-shot it just off intuition. It's very possible. But we all know he probably didn't do it for all of them. So what are the outliers? What are the exception to the rules? And then given Phil's behavior in the modern day, you really think Phil played everything on the straight and narrow off just skill and talent alone? Or do you think he went ahead and tried to find the angles in a circle? Something to think about. DSPNEWS.
But whoever was lying about that to begin with, like, when did I ever say I'm starting a pro-level playthrough of Metal Gear Solid 2 and here it comes? I never did. I prefaced my playthrough saying I know I'm probably going to be terrible. I then proceeded to be terrible and people think that it's funny to make fun of me. The bottom line is this.
Well, yeah. Just because you say you're terrible at something, once you do it and put it out there, you're leaving it up for people's opinions. Just because you say, hey guys, I'm going to be bad at this game, doesn't mean people can't laugh at it or people can't take it up and turn it into something. If they ever put out a remake or a remaster of Black Ops 2, I'm going to play it and I'm going to put it online. And whether I say I'm good or bad at it or whatever, the times that I screw up, more than likely you'll get thrown into it. This is how you don't play. Or, well, maybe. I don't think so. I'm not really relevant. But you know what I mean. It could. Maybe an up-and-coming this is how you don't play maker will probably do it. Who knows? But either which way, I put it out there. So I'm subject to people's scrutiny. It's the reality. The difference is I don't take myself so goddamn seriously on some internet shit to get mad because they did it. It's not that serious. I'm more than likely going to watch the video and I'll thumb it up too. It's all supposed to be for entertainment. If you had taken it as such early on, you wouldn't be where you're at now. But you wanted to be an ass clown. You wanted to be a lol cow. You wanted to overvalue yourself, overappraise yourself, and that's why you're at where you're at. That's the reality. DSPNEWS. Well, yeah.
People are the dregs of society, okay? These people are like the bottom of the barrel. They think that because they're good at a certain game and that because they become a fanboy of that game, that it gives them some kind of a status or some kind of a boost. Their E-dick grows 10 sizes that day. Oh, because I'm good at Metal Gear. Oh!
Wow. Look at the maturity level of this, ladies and gentlemen. Jesus Christ. This is early clown mode.
I'm so special. It's like, it's the most fucking pointless, worthless thing in
Too bad he couldn't bounce Panda like that. Need a better man for that one.
life to argue about or to even brag about. Like, what the fuck? It's a video game, you fucking loser. It's a fucking video game. I could, when I started my whole YouTube career here, I could have said, I know I'm good at Street Fighter. I'm going to focus primarily on Street Fighter, and I'm just going to try to be a pro at it. And that could have been all I ever did. And guess what?
That's what you tried to do, and you failed. So, oh, you mean you want to go ahead and take that to YouTube? Oh, I couldn't get it done in the FGC, so now I'm going to come to YouTube and say I'm a pro fighting game player. I'll take on all challenges. When there are plenty of videos on your channel of you losing to people that aren't known. Or as you like to call, nobodies, because they're not pro players or they're not well-known players. That's why I said not known players. Fucking idiot.
I don't think I ever would have gotten as big as I have, and I also don't think I would have had as much fun as I have, and I don't think that I would have entertained as many people as I have right now. Because I realized that trying to play a game at a pro level isn't exactly fun for everyone. For me, I have more fun playing everything, and yes, that means that a lot of games...
He was just trying to appeal to everybody. That's what it was. Because when he got scraped right out of the FGC, he knew he couldn't try to capitalize off the FGC no more. And that's why he came and did this shit and tried to, that's why he came to this shit and he tried to basically play everything and whatnot to cover all of his bases. But then again, that also leads me to a theory. Not necessarily a Theo theory, but a theory nonetheless. Is if he had that 2005 Evo win under his belt, despite the shitty port, and it was a shitty port, and how people would have given him no credibility either which way, he would have used that as a platform to build his channel off of. You know, I guarantee you, it would be up top, 2005 Evo winner, or Evo winner at Super Turbo. He would have bolstered that shit everywhere. And for those who are in the know, you know what I'm saying, who follow the FGC, an Evo winner is somebody to be respected. Okay? It's something to be respected. You're playing on, excuse me, you're playing on the FGC's biggest stage, Evo, against the world's best. He didn't that year. In 2005, he didn't. A lot of people didn't show. A lot of people didn't go. And the guys who did go ended up scraping him anyway. But either way, you're playing up against the world's best. And that's something to be respected. If one, you know, that's something to be respected. Especially if you're an FGC head or if you're just casual in it. You know that. And he would have used that to try to build his whole YouTube channel. You know what I mean? That right there could have been the keystone, if you will, to DSP gaming. And I bet you anything that would have justified keeping DSP Street Fighter around. A channel, a channel devoted to fighting games from a former Evo winner. Evo winner, not a qualifier, not a 4th place finish, not some pathetic number 1 ranked US Super Turbo player that year. A Evo winner. He wouldn't have given up DSP Street Fighter if that was the case. Just throwing it out there.
I'm going to play poorly. I don't care. I enjoy myself and I entertain people in the process. That's the way to have fun with life. Not to say, oh, I am the best at a single player game, Metal Gear Solid 2, and to see that one person sucks at it and might have made some money on it, I now have to deride them and it'll make myself feel better about myself. Ho 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 ho.
Here's more clown mode here. If that was the case, though, that you didn't care, and it doesn't mean anything to you because it's just a video game, then why are you so mad about it? Like, he's literally upset, and he's trying to use clown mode to divert it. But if it don't mean nothing, if it's no big deal, then why are you so upset about it? You're the one that's ranting. Wow. This right here is from our clown mode collection. We call this delusional clown. It's unique.
Fuck you. You fucking loser. Seriously. And anyone who follows someone like that, you're a fucking loser. You need to realize.
See, this is the thing that always fucks Phil over, and he never realized it. He always attacks the person, right? Which is never a good thing. And then he wants to attack the people who believe in that person, or who like that person's content, or who follow that person's content. He wants to attack them too. He wants to diminish them as well. Because in his head, oh, if you support that negativity, then you can't be a fan of mine. You know, you can't be a true fan of mine. So he's been dividing his fan base for years, doing it this way, being a goddamn idiot. There are very few people who are stupid enough to do stuff like this. If you're going to attack the person, attack the person. If you're going to attack the content, attack the content. Don't ever attack the people who absorb the content or who partake in it. That's stupid. You're potentially losing a viewer. And at a time when this idiot was making money off view-based content, why would you do that? Even if they come to his video just to leave a comment and then and a thumbs down or whatever the rating system was and get the fuck out, he still gets paid for that. So why would you want to go ahead and screw yourself up like that? Because his goddamn self-importance was everything? Here's Delusional Pig Man, right here. This is him drinking out of his little sippy cup, right? This is from our false inflation series, right? Or collection, I should say. He's a goddamn idiot for stuff like this. A goddamn idiot. He literally was cutting his own throat. He was chopping himself off at the hooves from the beginning. If you're going to attack the person, attack the person. Don't ever, ever attack the viewership. Because you need the viewership. Wow.
That's not what life is about. Trying to become an expert at something just to brag about your e-dick.
But yeah, that's exactly what he did with Super Turbo. That's exactly what he did with Super Turbo. He still does that with Super Turbo. He does that with Street Fighter in general, which is the reason why he shits on Street Fighter V. Because everybody who plays Street Fighter V, they didn't play the old games. They don't know how traditional Street Fighter is. They didn't, you know what I'm saying? They don't know. And whatnot. So with that being said, they don't know what a good game is. If you're going to come out your fucking snout and say some shit like that, and you're going to go ahead and project, and you're going to project that image and that opinion and whatnot, then you're contradicting yourself with this statement here. There's always going to be someone who's going to be able to play a game at a really high level. And there's nothing wrong with being with big upping yourself that if you can back it up. He can't even really do that with Super Turbo anymore. He hasn't been able to do that with fighting games for years. He definitely can't do that with Street Fighter in general. But he's now losing his grip on Super Turbo. That's the only reason why he wants to keep playing it each and every week, to hold on to what he has. But that's too little too late. DSPNEWS.
Internet generation. That's the thing. I grew up in the generation before the internet generation, so I understand how life works. These people don't. These people like actually think that it matters that you don't suck at Metal Gear Solid 2 or 3. Who gives a flying fuck about it?
If you're passionate about the game and if you're passionate about the series, then that means something to somebody. But you're the dumbass running around here saying I can be good at any game I want to play. I'm the one you're the idiot who ran around for years and said I'm the #1 ranked US Super Turbo player in 2005. He was the one saying that. And when you think about it, think about that statement, I am the #1 ranked American or US Super Turbo player. That almost implies that, oh shit, he won the tournament. And then you find out he took 4th. And then everybody laughed at it. Like, what? How is he #1 ranked when he was 4th place? Oh, well, because he was the only American in the top 4. But he lost. And then when you look into this, if you go ahead and scrutinize it even more, then you realize that the majority of the best players that year on the US side, for example, didn't even enter the tournament because the port was garbage. So then he's been diminished 2 more times because it's a shitty port and all the real killers didn't even show up. Oh, and on top of that, there's a 3rd notch, and they boycotted it. So what the fuck does he have to be? So what the fuck does he have to be praised for? If he had won, he still would have had those stipulations on him, but at least he won. He didn't do that, so he took the next best thing. He wasn't good enough to take 1st. He wasn't good enough to take 2nd. He wasn't good enough to take 3rd. He got stuck with 4th. So the only thing he could say is #1 ranked American or US player that year. If that's not pathetic, what is? If that's not pathetic, what is? Think about that. A delusional bastard.
No one with a brain. That's the answer. Okay. That was a really big rant. Who's next? Who's got a question for me? Oh my god, the chat's going way too fast. I can't even read all these questions. I can't even read one of them. I'm going to have to try to put the chat on slow mode so I can actually read what's going on. I apologize, everyone. I cannot read what everyone's saying.
And see, that's why his chat's the way it is now. And it's not that he can't read it, it's just so it's because he can't moderate it. He can't monitor what's saying so he can call people out. And that's something that Phil loves to do. And look at this goddamn split here. It'd be different if it was clean, like it looked like he naturally combed or parted his hair, but this This is what leads into where we're at now. And this is what happens when you sniff your own farts for too goddamn long. To be honest. Dead air.
Huh. Here's an interesting question. Someone says, what do I think about EA getting rid of online passes? Do I think it's because they have a new CEO, the previous CEO stepped down? I don't know, because this is the first I've heard of it. Is that true? If it is true...
What you think about this shit for a minute? He does nothing else with his day, ladies and gentlemen. He has, at the time, he was doing channel updates, he did rant videos, he did alert videos, and then he did his actual gameplay videos. But essentially, he's entrenched in the gaming community, in the gaming culture. And this idiot don't know jack shit about what's going on in the gaming community. At all. Or in the gaming industry, I should say. He doesn't know jack shit. And don't be wrong, ladies and gentlemen, let's not, let me not be pretentious. It's not like you have to know everything. But goddamn, you should know something. Because he's quick to rant about everything. So it would make sense, right? It would make sense to know something if you're going to spend all your time ranting about everything. Ladies and gentlemen, this right here is Dark Geppetto. The ignorance of those who don't know. This is another part of our collection and whatnot. I call it Dark Geppetto because of how he looks. That angry face. He's got his chin. He's got his balding chin into his pig titties. You know what I'm saying? And he's got that angry, snarling look. That's why I call it, well, that's one of the reasons why I call it Dark Geppetto. So, yet again, another part of our collection. Make a good thumbnail, too. Angry Snort. Angry Snort before Angry Snort.
That EA is getting rid of online passes, it's probably because of the massive backlash they've gotten in the press for it. That people can't buy games used, people can't even rent games and then play them online. Like, a lot of people, what they like to do is rent the game for, $5 or whatever, play the game, and then if they like it, they go buy it. And that's not fair that people basically are being forced to pay this full price and then, then see if they like the game, and if they don't like it, they're fucked because of an online pass. What about a movie? You can rent a movie, you can get a movie on demand, and if you really like it, then you can go buy the DVD, and you can own the movie. That's what I mean. Like, I don't understand the mentality of online passes. They were always anti-consumer and anti...
Now, make of that whatever you will, but the movie thing is something I want to touch on right now. If you guys remember, Tevin's gone over this in his Back in Time videos, and he watched a lot of the content from back around that time, so he gets both sides of the spectrum. But every time Panda used to come out to visit him, they had like a routine. Like the day that she shows, the next day, so the day after she comes into town, they would go out for breakfast, they would go off and do some shopping, but the first place they would hit after breakfast is Best Buy. And Phil would go out there and rack up on a shitload of videos, or DVDs, sorry. And then they would, do the rest of their shopping, eat a bunch of other times, and then come home. Panda has said this in her old videos, that he had so many videos that were unopened, it was ridiculous. And she used to ask him, why are you buying these if you're not even watching them? Oh, eventually I'll watch them. But she said it was like a ritual. Well, she didn't word it as a ritual. I'll word it as a ritual. But it was basically something that they always did every time he picked that he would bring, every time she came into town. That they would always go to Best Buy and just buy a bunch of DVDs. Some of them they might actually watch, but most of them they didn't. And so when she came back around the next month or the month after, because she only showed up like once a month or once every other month, whatever. It varies. Some of those same DVDs were still unopened. So what the fuck are you spending all this money on DVDs for, and you're not even watching them? You're not even opening them. Think about it.
Gamer, so maybe this new CEO is trying out something different and hoping he can turn the company around. I don't know.
Literally slurping right into the goddamn mic. Just kind of like what he does now. Kinda.
I think I already answered this question in the last Ask the King, but since a lot of people, I've already seen them question multiple times here again, I'll address it. The whole issue of YouTube paid subscriptions. This is a new thing that YouTube is implementing only with people who they've personally chosen and or businesses they've personally chosen to like be the first wave of the program. Here's how I feel about paid subscriptions on YouTube. If you're going to tell me that I can go to HBO's YouTube page and for $5 a month, I could pay $5 a month and on demand at any time, I can see the entire series of Boardwalk Empire, the entire series of The Sopranos, the newest episodes of Game of Thrones. And I don't, that's what I mean. It's an alternate method for me to see content that I would have had to maybe go and get through my cable provider, maybe for significantly more money and not on demand. I think that's an amazing thing. The YouTube can be a new delivery service for that subscription-based style content. But if you're going to tell me that people who previously were giving videos for completely free, everything they did on YouTube was free, and now they're going to limit their content and hide some of it and or their entire channel unless you do a paid subscription, that's ridiculous. And that will, in my opinion, that will massively fail as a business model, because you can't take something you've always given someone for free and then force them to pay for it. I personally would never.
So I guess he's talking about what eventually ended up becoming YouTube Red. But I mean, no buts. I mean, I kind of understand what he's saying about that, but it's kind of like YouTube Red. That, or at least this sounds like this was the predecessor to it. But doesn't Phil not put playthroughs behind paywalls? If you want to see him play a certain game, you have to vote for it. If you have to vote for it, either A, you had to contribute, back in those days, you had to contribute to Patreon. No, he didn't have Patreon yet, actually. He didn't actually have Patreon yet. Well, let's just talk about when he started doing Patreon's Choice. You had to contribute $5 to Patreon to vote. Right? Just to vote. And then you had to hope that enough people voted with you to get your game played. And then Phil, eventually, when he went back to Twitch the second time, he ended up saying, oh, well, you have to pay $5 to vote, right? And then you would have to subscribe. And then I think you had to subscribe to his Twitch channel or something along those lines so you could pick your game. So you had to pay just to vote, and then you had to pay again to play the game. He was double dipping off that. So what the fuck is he talking about? So in 2013, we had a problem with it, but in 2016 and 2017, that became the ebb and flow. He literally, I'd say after 2015, he literally went out of his way to find ways of nickeling and diming and gouging people for every buck he could get out of them. Think about that. The only reason why he doesn't put the emphasis on YouTube now is because YouTube is an archive channel, allegedly. Really, it's because the channel's dead, but because it's an archive channel. He tries to nickel and dime you guys for every little goddamn thing he can get off of Twitch. That's why the whole meme of contributions are mandatory is a thing. Because he let that shit slip because that's how he really feels. And if he was brave enough to say it, he would.
Never. And I say this publicly. I would.
Most of those things that you see on YouTube Red, at least for some of those channels, I can't say it for everybody. That's something that those are series that the content creators make exclusively for Red. And for most people, they end up letting that shit go for free later on down the line anyway. That's what Matt Pack from Game Theory, like the first episode of that series that he did, he let that shit go for free on his YouTube channel. And as a way of basically advertising, it was smart to have people put down $5 to watch the rest of the season. You know what I mean? It's just what they do. I mean, now, I don't know about YouTube Red, or people still pay for it or not, but for those who have like channel subscriptions, you're not paying. It's all in how you look at it, right? You don't have to look. It's all in how you look at it. You don't, like, for example, with the subscription system on YouTube, which is basically just what YouTube copied from Twitter. No, not Twitter. From Twitch with the sub system. Or the subscriber system. You pay $5, you get access to some emotes or whatever, but you're really just supporting the channel. You're not paying for anything, you're kind of just supporting the channel. Especially for channels who don't have Patreon or who don't stream, right? Or don't have a PayPal link or and so on, or a donation link, whatever. you can support them through their channel if their channel is monetized. So look at it that way. So if you're someone who really likes Matt Pack or likes Markiplier or Jacksepticeye or any of the guys who participated in that shit, you're looking at it as, oh, I'm paying $5 and I get all of this, but more importantly, I'm supporting the content creator that I like. You know what I mean? I mean, that's a way of looking at it. It's not like, I don't think it's it's not as malicious as he says, but that doesn't mean that it couldn't be. It couldn't be taken advantage of. Because every system that, at least when it pertains to money, is not inherently put out there to try to nickel and dime you. It just eventually turns into that. Because people by nature are greedy. It's just the reality of it.
Never force a viewer to pay me a subscription to see my content. My content has always been a contract that you're giving me your time and money, and in addition, you're taking the time to maybe watch the ad or whatever that's on my video and remove your ad block here on Twitch TV when you're watching my streams, so that you know that I'm getting something out of it, but you get the free content. Like, you're already...
But it's not free because they're giving you money. You're already missing your own point, because you said at the beginning of the statement, you're giving me your time and your money, and you're supporting me. So you kind of already fucked yourself. Did you not think about that? Yeah, the content is free. Yeah. And they didn't have to give you money, but they did. So don't make it free, do it. You know what I'm saying? It don't make it free. And especially when, this is when the lines get blurred. When Phil was back then was still taking money in for donations to buy games and to whatever else, even though he had that lucrative machinima contract, how free really was his content, if you think about it? When there were people, when there were already fellow viewers who were throwing him hundreds of dollars a month in donations, or were helping him pay for the cost of games, which means that his overhead was damn near non-existent, because there were literally people who were sending him $60, $70, $80 a month to make sure that certain games were played. And this is well after he's already, well, it's alleged. This is allegedly well after he got the fat the fat machinima contract, and people were still sending him donations. So what the fuck is he talking about? He's not doing anything for free, because in reality, not only is he getting paid off YouTube, but then more than likely someone paid for the game. So people put in money so he can make money. What the fuck is he talking about? This is kind of like Bad Bunny way before Bad Bunny, if you think about it.
Paying for it. So I don't understand how these people think now they're going to do subscription based for something they've always given for free. I disagree with the practice. I think it should only be for things that were already previously subscription based and or are brand new content that were not going to be provided for free to begin with.
Which goes back to what I said before, with like some of the series that Matt Pack made and some of these other guys. Those series that they made for YouTube Red, the paid content, if you will, was stuff exclusively different from, well, in most cases, was exclusively different from what, what they were originally producing. And on top of that, don't you get like no ads or some shit when you support YouTube Red? Or when you support content creators like that on that paid subscription service? You're getting rid of the ads, you know what I'm saying? So you get a better viewing experience, and the content creator still gets paid. I'm telling you right now, if he didn't first off, he should have never shitted on it. That's my opinion. I mean, he can have his opinion of it, but he shouldn't have shitted on it the way he did. And two, if his reputation didn't go to shit, I guarantee you he would have ended up going to it, especially when his content went from view-based, which is where he's at right now, to an ad-based revenue stream, which is what eventually ended up going to. I bet you then that subscription service looked pretty good. I bet you it looked pretty good then.
Oh my god, so many questions at once, I can't read them.
It's in slow mode, right? We took it off the normal mode and put it in slow mode because you couldn't keep up with it. It's in slow mode. He still can't keep up with it. I said, like I've told you guys, ladies and gentlemen, on the main channel, he got old before he could actually grow old. He really did. He grew. He got old. He got old before he could grow. Before he actually grew to be old. And yet again, it's because he didn't take care of himself. He wanted quick money. He wanted to live in leisure, and it actually hurt him more than it benefited him. It was a deficit more than it was a reward.
I cannot read them. I can't. They're scrolling too fast. Anyone who's asking what games I'm going to be playing later in the year needs to watch my schedule video, which I created about a month ago on the King of Hate vlogs. It explains my entire schedule of what games I'm planning to play this year that have solid release dates. I'm not going to go through individually and talk about certain games.
Look at how rigid he is. And that's the reason why he's at where he's at now. Because there's no, he has no adaptability, he has no flexibility, he has no versatility. And those are things that as a person you need. You need that as a person. Not even content creation. You need that as a person. He wants to refer them to a video he made a month ago. You know how many things change in a month? You know how many things change in a week? And in our day and age, shit changes by the day. Games get pushed forward, games get pushed back. Shit, some games don't come out. If you're not paying attention to the news day by day, you're missing a lot. And that's gaming, that's in real life, that's whatever you're interested in. But this idiot back in 2013, when shit was starting to really rev up, he was sitting there referring people to something that was done a month ago.
Oh, good question. I want to show everybody. I did get the DDP yoga that I had talked about a couple weeks ago. It did show up. And maybe starting this week, I'm thinking possibly this week what I need to do, because I bought a yoga mat too. I'm going to try to find a place to roll it out and start trying out these exercises and see if they help my back or not. Because I can't do traditional exercise because of my back, but I do have it, and I might actually try it.
So you can sit on your... This is delusional, Phil. First and foremost, I'm going to be perfect fucking honest with you. I doubt he ever used that damn thing. I think he saw it. I think he saw it on a wrestling program being advertised. He thought it was a good idea. He's someone who's very easily influenced, especially when he has money. You know what I mean? Like he's the type of individual who can't hold on to money because it's always burning through his pockets and he has to spend it. It's weird type of mentality, but that's really all. A lot of that goes back to how you're brought up. But I think he thought it was a good idea. I think he thought he could justify it in his head. I think he saw the DVD and he saw the effort that was put in, and he started making up excuses. Oh, well, I got that thread over there, and that's too much room. It's too heavy to move. Oh, I got that over there, and I can't move that either, or there's not enough space there. Oh, John's coming by, and we got to record this. Oh, I got to work. Oh, I got to make sure all these videos go out on time. Oh, where am I going to really find time to do this? And nothing ever happened. That's literally what the situation was. That's literally how it all played out. I guarantee it.
I'm successful at it. I probably will eventually maybe do a video or two of it to show people how to do it, but only if I'm successful at it and it helps me. Obviously, if I suck at it, the videos, excuse me, are probably going to be detrimental. So, but I do have.
Now, first off, this is the frame that he's working with, blurry as it is. Not a lick of muscle tone to him. Never probably ever had any. Now, this idiot right here is what's the first thing that he says? If I'm successful at it, then maybe I'll do videos. If I'm successful at it. But if I'm not, it's going to be a detriment to me. It's going to be a detriment to me because I don't want to be made fun of because I'm failing at something or I don't do well at something. But if it could help other people, Phil, isn't it not worth it? Don't you say that your content makes other people feel better? It gets them through hard times in their lives or in their days or in their weeks or whatever the case may be, and it gives them a reason to deflate. So what the fuck are you giving a shit about why do you care? Let's reword that. Why do you care about the opinion of the few if it supposedly helps so many? What sense does that make? And he's always been that way. And he's always been that way. If that's not delusional, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what is.
Alright, what else do we got? I guess some people are saying... a couple people asked this about the 3DS, like to have my opinions on the Nintendo 3DS changed since the Nintendo announcement. Well, the bottom line is, am I a little soured at Nintendo overall? Yes, I am. The 3DS, I wasn't doing game playthroughs of it regardless. It is a really nice handheld system. It's probably one of the best ones I've ever owned. I like a lot of the features, like it has that Find Me and doing the Street Pass connectivity with other people. I'm going to Screwjack Gaming Convention in just 1 month, and that's going to be a really cool opportunity to interact with people on the 3DS.
Now, this is Angry Swig. It's part of our part of the Clown Mode collection. Now here's the thing. He's going to that Screw Attack event, right? He's going to a Screw Attack event in a month. Now this is from let's see here. This is from May. This is May 17th of 2015, or is it 2013? 2013. Okay. Then he's going to that Screw Attack event. Okay. That Screw Attack event, ladies and gentlemen, is one. I think isn't that the same event that Gamer J Lee saw him at? And that's where that whole thing comes from, wasn't it? I don't remember if that was 2013 or 2015. Can't remember now. But I know he said it was like at a Screw Attack convention or something. But not only that, but I think this is the same convention that Pro Jared was at. And Phil said, he had attention and people were coming up to him, asked for his autograph and talking him up, and his booth was getting a decent amount of attention. But then when Pro Jared showed up, everybody migrated over there, and I think that's when the beginning of the quote-unquote beef started. That's my opinion. And then the online slight was just the tipping point at the end of that. So you're already kind of... I'm saying that to try to set up the framework for where this idiot's mindset was at and how petty he was. You know what I mean? And how he was literally just engaging in mental masturbation, believing that he was more than what he was. And sure, he could have fixed it. Sure, he could have humbled himself, but he didn't want to. And this is how you don't play would have been the best time to do it. It would have been the best time to humble himself. But he couldn't, because he thought he was so goddamn important. This dumbass right here, ladies and gentlemen, was too lazy to do DSP yoga. Because he was too busy drinking himself stupid throughout the day, going to bed early in the goddamn morning, and waking up mid-afternoon. Guy's fucking useless.
And it has an amazing software lineup. In fact, I just beat Castlevania Lords of Shadow Mirror of Fate today on the way home from Philly on the train. And now I'm about to start Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. So, just because Nintendo does something stupid doesn't mean that you should just completely boycott them. But at the same time, you have to make a stand and stand up and say the truth and speak up for yourself as a gamer. Nintendo does not own you. Don't let them speak up against it. Okay.
Now keep in mind, when he was talking about that, he was talking about the YouTube aspect of it. He's not talking about the casual person who don't give a shit. Or the casual YouTuber who doesn't have any of their videos monetized. And more importantly, he's sitting there bitching, complaining, crying about something that didn't affect him anyway because he was under machinima and he was protected.
Oh my god, so many. I'm trying to read some. Well, I guess there was an announcement today that Nintendo will control the next 3 Sonic games and they'll be exclusively on the Wii U. You know what I have to say to that? Goodbye, Sonic!
Oh, you did it again? That's thumbnail. That's definitely gonna be my thumbnail. You throwing a Sonic in the trash. Because oh, you did it again. Because this is the cue. Like I said earlier, ladies and gentlemen, this is part 2. In part 1, same trash can he threw his Wii U in. Now you throwing away Sonic because you this bitch made. Ladies and gentlemen, this is angry clown mode / Geppetto, Dark Geppetto, throwing away Sonic, which is one of Phil's heroes, by the way. This is one of the games that Phil really, really, really loves, Sonic games, and you're gonna toss it because Nintendo's in control of it. This is how petty he is. An utter fucking buffoon. Literally an utter buffoon. But I bet you anything he played him anyway. I bet you anything he put him out on YouTube to profit off of them anyway. It was just like R.I.P. Rest in peace, but it was just like what Total Biscuit said. People come to you to watch you rage. That's the only value that you have. Jesus Christ.
Oh, well, I mean, no one's going to buy them. Seriously, no one is going to support the Wii U anymore. After this week, it's done. So, Sonic in the trash, Wii U in the trash, fuck it.
You're gonna be a lazy fucker. You're gonna pull that Sonic. You're gonna pull your Sonic toy out of the trash, dude. Because he was quick as shit to throw that Wii U in there and then eventually pull it out and make sure he didn't damage it. You're just gonna let Sonic sit in there, huh? Just like the rest of your YouTube career, or online career in general.
Oh, aha! This is a good one. People are asking me, this coming, is it Tuesday? When is the 21st? Hold on, my calendar's over here. Tuesday, yes. So Tuesday the 21st at 1 p.m., I guess Eastern Standard Time. That could be wrong. I have to look it up because I haven't looked it up. I've been on vacation or holiday. There's going to be this press conference from Xbox where they're going to announce the new Xbox and all that, and have all the skinny. Probably what I will do is immediately following that press conference, I will do a live stream where I will give you my reactions, and then I'm probably going to also upload that to YouTube. So you're going to have on Tuesday.
I'm also going to put that up on YouTube. You're an idiot. Here's the thing. Why he couldn't just give a live reaction to the press conference as it's happening makes no sense. Do a live press conference, right? Take your notes and everything. Give your little oohs and ahs and your little angry snorts. And then after that, you've given your initial reaction, if you will. Then go over your viewpoints and then open it up to a Q&A. And put all that shit on YouTube because, trust me, he would have. That's not hard. That's like the reason why people get on his ass about E3. Like, why won't he go ahead and just stream E3 live, right? And give his initial reactions to everything, and then give us the next part of the show, the post show, if you will, or conference. He can give us his reactions of what his thoughts are. He can take notes while he's doing all those things, and then open it up for Q&A. People have been asking him to do that for years. I mean, granted, there's probably not going to be an E3 this year, but you know what I mean. Just wasted opportunities left and right.
Tuesday, when that press conference happens, I'll be watching it. I'll be following it, taking notes. We'll do a video all about it here on Twitch and then also on the King of Hate Vlogs. And by the way, this was a gift, so no, I'm not actually throwing it out. I'm keeping it. It's not Sonic's fault. You can't put the blame on Sonic.
want you to think about this for a minute. This is just me being an asshole. You dug Sonic out of the trash, fiddled with his feet and everything, put that away. Then you rub your nose in your fucking disgusting gold tee. Then you run your fucking hand through your hair. Now, granted, we don't know what's in that trash can and what's not, but I assume there's something in there. And he's sitting here touching his face. He's doing all this different shit with it. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't think I'm a germaphobe or anything, but that's just nasty.
I guess some people are asking, will I ever do a fan appreciation injustice day? I mean, it's definitely a possibility, and I actually feel that during the day when I did all the Lobo gameplay and I created that lobby that was, what was it? Lobo DLC enabled only or something like that. I think that most of the people who were playing me in that set were fans.
Look at Jesus, like arms are scrawny as shit. And this is someone who said he used to work out. Look at like nothing. Arms, forearms, nothing. Absolutely nothing. All this allegedly from a bad back. But doesn't want to do anything to fix that bad back. Amazing.
But there may be a chance that, yes, I do set up like a special Injustice fan appreciation co-op.
That would make a good thumbnail too, actually. Now that I think about it. That could work. You would think for someone who's on vacation / holiday, he would actually get some sun. Whatever.
Day. Of course, I have no idea what day would be the best to do that. Maybe a Sunday, I'm thinking. I don't know. I'll think about it, but I may actually do it in the future, yes. Oh yeah, I should, you know what? I should probably address this, because this was a new thing that was announced this week, and I'm very disappointed in it, okay? Just so everyone knows, there is a new Twitch app that went out on the Xbox 360 in the United States this week, and they heavily promoted it on Twitter and on their website, and they were like, everyone go use this new Twitch app. Use it, use it, use it. Now, that's cool. I mean, it's awesome that people can see Twitch streams on a new format. Problem: the Twitch app doesn't support ads. So anyone who's doing this and trying to actually make some money doing it can't do it on the Twitch apps. So
it's called promotion, you idiot. And yet again, this goes back to Phil's philosophy on not doing a goddamn thing for free. So, yet again, Phil has never gone out of his way for people. He's never done anything out of the goodness of his heart for people. He's never done jack shit unless it benefited him in some way, shape, or form. And for whatever reason, this idiot doesn't understand how marketing, promotion, cross-branding, he doesn't either remember or he doesn't know how any of that works at all. Which is wild to me. Which is fucking wild. Oh yeah, Twitch has this new app, man, but shit, I ain't getting paid off of it, so fuck that. They don't support ads. They obviously just developed the new app, you idiot. Let them advertise it. Let them bring people in. Let their investors see that, hey, it's worthwhile. This is going to be a way for us to move forward and try to expand our reach. And then guess what? Then you start bringing the advertisement in. You just don't start the app and put advertising on it right away. Greedy fuck. It really is.
So, let me get this straight. You make a new app, you promote the hell out of it, but it actually hurts the people who use your business the most. What were they thinking?
You make it sound like you make it sound like the big streamers at the time, which I have no clue who they were. They would lose like 50% of their viewership, and in turn losing let's say 40 or 50% of their ad revenue or revenue in general, because everybody's just going to move to the app. Not everybody's going to move to the app. Not everybody, I assume, back in those days had the phones to support it. You know what I mean? So it's just another option. But that doesn't mean people are just going to go ahead and run to it. Just like how Phil was talking about how if you pay $5 a month for the subscription service, you can do HBO, for example, and so on and so forth. Well, eventually, when HBO Go came out on mobile, I bet you anything, not everybody who was HBO subscribers could move to HBO Go because their phones probably couldn't support it. At least not yet. You put it out there for the few and wait and see if it can catch on. And then you start structuring everything for the many. That's how business works. That's basic common sense.
And I asked them specifically on Twitter about this, and they said, yeah, none of our app versions have ads. And I'm like, well, that's no good. Like, what are they thinking? That's so stupid. And it's dumb because on the flip side of this, the Machinima app that I've been talking about for, a month now that they still don't have me in, is actually going to have ads, and I'll get credit for the views. So
good for you. But then if you're already getting paid off of that, why are you mad because they didn't promote you in it? Oh, because they promised me they were going to promote me? Oh, well, they didn't, but you're still being paid, so what do you care? A lot of things happen in business. A lot of promises are made. A lot of things are structured. And unless that shit's on paper in a contract, fuck you and move the fuck on. That's just the reality of it. And keep in mind, he rants about this later on. Because it was like a video in like 2015. I'll eventually go over if I haven't gone over it yet. Where he rants about the whole, where Machinima did this and they fucked him over on this. And they wanted him to promote the Machinima app. And they said they were going to promote him on it. And he told all of his subscribers, hey guys, I'm going to be on the Xbox Live is eventually going to have the YouTube app. And they're going to promote me. So make sure you guys support the app and so on and so forth. And then he never got promoted on it. But he was being compensated. He was being paid. And apparently that's the most important thing to him. So what's the problem? So I want promotion. I want to be promoted, right, when it benefits me and I can get paid for it. But if I have to choose between being promoted or being paid, I'd rather be just paid. I want them both. But if I can't have both, I don't see the long-term benefits of just being promoted and that's it. So fuck that. I want to just be paid. That's, yet again, he didn't know how to do business. It's obvious that he don't. And that's why he's at where he's at now. That's exactly why he's where he's at. Even if people don't like you, if you do good business, people will do business with you. Even if they don't like you. It's just kind of how the way works. Sometimes you're gonna have to get in bed with some people that you're not really comfortable getting in bed with and whatnot. But if you can make the best out of a situation, then it works out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you have to get in bed with them. That's, at the end of the day, that's your choice. But sometimes you're gonna have to do some things in business that you're not gonna like, or you're gonna have to associate with people, I should say, that you're not gonna really want to associate with, or they may not even want to associate with you. And everybody has to put on the fake smiles and all that bullshit, but if it all works out and it becomes profitable, everything's good. But this idiot couldn't even figure that out. It's amazing how big Phil Burnell could have been if he just had a bit of business sense. And that's what Hypothetical Pignosis for the main channel, that's what that series is going to be about. It's going to basically be a what if. What if Phil had done such and such? What if Phil had done this? What if Phil had done that? And whatnot. I'll be interested to hear what you guys think and what some of your responses will be to it. But crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. This man talking about, I have a business degree, preached that shit for years, and did bad business from the beginning. Amazing shit.
I'm actually going to at least make something off of the things on the Machinima app. So obviously it makes sense for me to promote that. Why can't they do that with the Twitch app? I don't know. It makes no fucking sense.
Which yet again, it tells you that right there, ladies and gentlemen, if I could impress anything on you, I'd like to impress exactly how unrealistic he is about how the world works and how business works. And he was right there at the ground floor for all of this. You know what I mean? He could have given a lot of insight. He could have heard a lot of insight. He could have heard a lot of ways of thinking that were opposite or even opposed to what he thought. And it could have been beneficial for everybody. But he didn't want to. He thinks, oh, you put out something new? Oh, I need to get paid for that right away. Promotion? Oh, fuck promotion. Pay me. Promotion's good if you're going to pay me too. But if not, if it comes between being promoted or being paid, I'd rather be paid. When in actuality, you get promoted, that increases your viewer pool, which in turn would bring more money later. Instead of you clamoring at the bit for a couple of $1,000s, I would much rather be promoted for like 3 to 6 months and be able to bring in tens of thousands of dollars later on down the line. But see, Phil didn't look at it that way. He was always looking at and only looking at what was at the end of his hoof. And that was it. And he literally tried to scrounge for anything and everything. And it got him nowhere at the end of the day. He sat there and spent over 8 or 9 years, however long he's being paid, essentially, over a decade, basically chasing after dollars and thinking it made sense. And not even big bucks, small bucks, small money. And he thought it was a good idea. He thought he was smart. He thought he was doing business. And he wasn't. And that's why I always found it ridiculous that him, Wings, and Rich from Review Tech USA, for example, thought they were doing good business back in the day, and they weren't. None of them were. That's why Rich has the reputation of being dropped by sponsorships, especially back in the day. He got, I think, almost every sponsorship that Rich from Review Tech USA ever had prior to probably like 2017. They all dropped him at one time or another. That doesn't happen by mistake, ladies and gentlemen. You got some people who have been sponsored for years. Let me give you an example. There was this guy. He does like animations, and then he moved on, and then he did gaming too, but he does animations, and then he moved on to gaming. When Shave Club, I guess when the first time I ever saw Shave Club, and I think by the time I saw it on YouTube, it had already been around for a little while. He had been part of Shave Club since the very beginning, right? And like I said, when I saw him, when I first even heard of Shave Club, I saw it from one of his videos. That was years ago. You know what I mean? That was well over, let's say, 4 years ago. And so on and so forth. He's still part of Shave Club. He's part of a bunch of, and some of the other brands that are generally associated with that. He did good business, and they stayed with him. And because of Dollar Shave Club, they ended up, the people there, because he talked about this a little bit, some of the people at Dollar Shave Club went ahead and put him on to other sponsorships that they were working with on other projects, because he was always good for business, and he was always good with business. So it only made sense to spread the love around, and that's what he did. I mean, shit, that, I can't remember what it's called, like that whole beard, like that, you know how having large beards are like a big craze for some people. Like, you know, well, I think James Lesser cut his. No, James Lesser has his. Him and I think Agent Proper may have cut his. One of the two. But they used to have really, like, those really nice lush beards and shit. You know how they have hair care products for that now. He actually grew his beard out for like 16 months or some shit. And it was promoting it just so he could help promote the brand, this new extension brand for Dollar Shave Club. Because, you know, they had always been good to him, and he was like, sure, you know, I can help you guys out with this. And I'm not saying he was the sole reason why it got off the ground, because that's not the case, but he was a pivotal part of that. You know what I mean? And he didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? He volunteered for that. And they still compensated him, I would assume, rather well for it, because he went out of their way for them. You know, you growing a beard, that changes the life a little bit. That changes how you feel and shit. You know what I'm saying? Beards get itchy, I'm sure. You know what I mean? They can get irritable. In the winter, they're probably great. In the summer, though, god dog. You know what I'm saying? If you like going outside like I do, and if you like participating in sports, boy, sweat to get into that shit quick. So these are just some of the things. But like the point I'm trying to make, I'm sorry, is that that's good business. And that's opening yourself up for business opportunities, even if you're not asked. You know what I mean? There are plenty. Tevin talks about it talks about it somewhat often, or he used to anyway. That it's not hard to get free games from developers and publishers and stuff like that. It's not hard at all. It's really not. And for any of you guys who have a Steam page, for example, and whatnot, and you deal with that, and you kind of build an account, and then you talk to people in that community or whatnot. There's a lot of people in that community that can hook you up. People pass around keys and stuff for free games a lot. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people who buy all kinds of games off Humble Bundles, sorry. And they'll pass out free keys to just about anybody. Because why not? They're not doing anything with it. So yet again, it's just something to think about. Keep your options open is the point.
Oh my god, 100 questions at once. Shit, I can't even see them. I see a lot of the people asking the same questions. Who do I think is the worst video game reviewer? I couldn't tell you because I don't usually read video game reviews because I know they're all shit anyway. I see a question, someone's asking me, will I ever travel internationally on a vacation with Leanna? The answer is possibly. There is always that possibility. Keep in mind that with my back condition as it is, it's a slim possibility because a long flight could be a bad thing for me. That doesn't mean that in the future maybe my back will get better. I'm actually pretty confident. I've heard there's some new technologies that they're trying out that may actually work, or possibly even this DDP yoga. That could make it possible. So in the future it is a possibility, but with my back as it is right now, it's a no-go.
Which never actually happened. The furthest he ever went was flying from Connecticut to Washington State, and that was pretty much that. Nothing else ever came out of that. So they could have flown to Europe. It's going to be a much longer trip, obviously, but they could have flown to Europe. He would have been fine. There are plenty of people who have bad backs who get on planes. But Phil Burnell is so fucking special that Lord knows that a couple other discs are going to get herniated while he's on the plane, and he's screwed. I mean, stop. Stop. He was lazy. He was lazy. If you want a better quality of life, you'll do what you can to do so. No one wants to walk around and be old before you get old. That's why he looks the way he does. The dude's about to be 38. He looks like he's 60. He looks horrible. If you've ever seen the age, the 10 years of Darksydephil, like I know Mighty D has one on his channel, and I think if you go back into the Mr. Huff Stuff videos, he has 2 videos that he's done years apart showing the many faces of Phil Burnell. He looks horrible. He looks absolutely fucking horrible. And that's just the reality.
Okay, we got a question from Jealousy who's asking, have I looked into streaming on my machinima partnered channels on YouTube, like the King of Hate Vlogs or even over on DSP Gaming? The answer is yes, I have. Yes, I would make money if I did that. However, those things suck. And I'm going to be honest, they really suck. Apparently, from what I've heard, the quality is bad. They frequently buffer and fuck up. The quality...
You don't know, by the way. This is what he's been told. This is what he's heard. He hasn't actually tested it himself. Keep that in mind.
It is not as good as it is on Twitch. There is no chat. The chat that happens there is an ongoing stream of comments, making it completely impossible to moderate. And if you have trolls...
Completely impossible to moderate. And like I said, since he's on Twitch, right? You know how Phil is. Phil's a good hoe. Phil is very much a bottom bitch. Whoever pimp she with, he makes sure he on his knees doing her best, or doing his best, sorry, and whatnot. But the moment he gets kicked to the curb, because that's what happens, he never leaves. He gets kicked out. Then all of a sudden he go to the next pimp and say they were the best ever, and so on and so forth. It's just it's digital prostitution. You know what I mean? And it is what it is for someone who's so opinionated, right? and says that he's real and he's honest and whatnot, why does he hoe himself out to all these different platforms? If he got kicked off of Twitch, I guarantee you he's going to Mixer, because there's nothing here in YouTube. Coming to YouTube is just coming to the Coliseum, and he knows what's waiting for him when he get here. So the only place he can go is Mixer, and watch him talk that shit then. And then he literally got to start over on Mixer, and he's scared to death of that because he has no clout over there. He has nothing. The only person that's waiting for him when he get over there is two people that he really don't like, which is Ninja and Tevin. And he'll be lower than they are. I mean, he's lower than they are now, but you know what I mean? Let's be honest. He feels beneath both of those men already, but he's definitely going to be beneath them if he has to go over there. And that's the reality.
In there, fuck it, you're done. There's no way to moderate it. So from everything I've heard, streaming on YouTube is garbage. So I have the option to stream on YouTube, and I'll be honest, if I actually did stream on YouTube, I actually do think that my streams would get more views than they get here on Twitch. However,
they didn't. If I remember, if history serves me correct, they didn't. He actually took a drop. I think eventually the numbers started getting pretty good because he streamed on YouTube for like 2 years, but it wasn't nearly as lucrative as it was when he was on Twitch originally.
I don't care. I would rather have the higher quality product. And I know that streaming on Twitch is...
That's until they came in there and told him, hey, we need you to turn down your bitrate. Why do I need to turn down my bitrate? Other streamers stream at a high quality. Why can't I? Phil, turn down the fucking bitrate, man. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just asking why. Because I told you to. Turn the bitrate down. Well, those people didn't appreciate me, and Twitch is all about subscription, subscribe, donate. That's not for gamers, guys. You know what I'm saying? They're all e-beggars. They're all shills over there. You guys remember that? I remember that. Pepper's Farm remembers that. Like I said, he's a good hoe.
Going to be the higher quality product, so I will continue to stream here on Twitch in the foreseeable future.
Until he ran himself out of there. Until he ran himself up and out of there.
Oh my god, another flaw. As soon as I started reading one question, 1,000 questions appeared. Someone asked, because of my new method of streaming and uploading, do I think that longer RPGs will be an easier thing to do? The answer is yes, because I'll just do them over a longer, more extended period of time. Take a look at Ni no Kuni, which I actually did recently. Now, I wasn't streaming yet, but take a look at that playthrough, because I uploaded it only, you know, a little bit at a time. It wasn't me just exclusively uploading Ni no Kuni for days on end. It was that paired with other stuff. I was able to actually do the playthrough within 2 weeks and finish it, and that was a longer style RPG. It'll be the same thing with streaming. If I do one long stream and I have this content saved up, I can gradually upload it and schedule it to upload for future times, and it will make that stuff easier to play.
You would think too, if he has so much time between uploads, why wouldn't he edit some of that bullshit out? Because, like he said, he'll have all this spare time between uploads, right? And if he's mixing it up with other games, why didn't he edit out the bullshit? He had the time to do it. Oh well.
Man, people just have the worst attempts at trolling, the dumbest questions. Something about someone's penis. Come on, man. A penis joke? Oh yeah, the King of Hate website, which is my fan site. It's not, I don't own it, but it is the website where all my fans talk about stuff, and I post up stuff about things like polls and such, and discussions about my playthroughs. Excuse me. It was apparently hacked earlier this week. It wasn't the forums that were hacked. It was I guess the main page of the website was changed to say, like, you've been hacked by Alpha Team. Yeah, Alpha Team be cools and stuff. And I was like, what? Like, what is the point of that? Wow, so you're just annoying. You know what I mean? Like, you accomplished nothing. You're annoying. They think, I guess, talking to my site, the people who work on the site, they're saying they think it was some kind of an FTP exploit, that all they did was change the graphic that was shown on the homepage, but it wasn't like they had access to any kind of private data. It was just some stupid FTP exploit. The funny thing is, it was so stupid and such a lame attempt at hacking that Foos, who's actually the head person who programs the site, was able to fix the issue on her Android phone during a meeting at work. So that was some pro-level fucking hacking by those guys. Maybe next time Foes will be in her bathroom and she'll fix what they hacked with her electric toothbrush.
I mean, it's easy to say all that when you're not the one that's actually fixing it. Someone else is doing it. And see, that's how I think he always wanted the DSP family of channels to work out. Where he has John, he has Howard, he has OJ, and probably a few other friends working and turning this shit into an actual business, and then, you know, and whatnot, a little bit of a conglomerate. Then you got the website. He's got, there's like multiple people working on that site, or they used to anyway, keeping it up and doing all the extra shit and the internals and whatnot. He thought he was literally running a little business with him as CEO, with him at the very top. But then he wants to run around and say, "Oh, I'm a self-made man. I'm a one-man show. There is nobody else helping me." But you're lying, because John had been there damn near from the beginning, right? Howard not too long after that, and you had people running your website for you, and you had people doing thumbnails and stuff for you. So how is it that you were a one-man show?
Alright, probably just a couple more questions here, everyone, and I'll call it a night. So just the last few questions. Someone keeps saying something about having to purchase Ranger mode. According to this, I have Ranger mode. It says free DLC, Ranger mode, weapon, and more in Metro Last Light. It comes with the game when you buy it. So what do you mean I have to purchase it separately? No, I don't. It comes with the game. Oh, people are saying that it was a pre-order bonus or it's $5 extra. So why wouldn't you have pre-ordered the game? I like how I've answered some of these questions and people are still asking them. Oh boy. Ugh.
Does anybody actually remember that? I remember going to GameStop with my older siblings, and they're like, "Oh, well, you know, if you pre-order the game, you get all these different bonuses and all that, or if not, you know, it's like an extra $5." Now you can't even do that. Like, I mean, if you go into a Best Buy anyway, or not Best Buy, in a GameStop, if those things will ever even be around. If you don't get the pre-order bonus, you just don't get it, unless one of the like employees there like have an extra one or whatever, or they can call like customer support and say, "Hey, you know, one of the guys here who had the pre-order, their code don't work. Can you give me another one?" And then they'll like hook you up. Like, it depends though. Like, if you're really cool with the people at your GameStops, even if you don't pre-order it, sometimes they'll just slide you a free code and shit. Like, for example, you guys ever like, you know, open up like an Xbox game for like an Xbox, like a new Xbox game, sorry, if you don't buy it digitally, and sometimes you find like a 3-day or a 1-week pass for Xbox Live, and sometimes you don't. Well, as you guys know, I'm sure some of you know, they actually pull those things out in advance, but some employees leave them in there just because they're like, "Come on, dude, the fuck's the point of doing that shit?" Because they can't sell them. So they take them out and they kind of spread them around amongst the employees, from what I was told. But or they give it away to like value customers, if you will. They'll slide a couple of them in their bag. I've gotten that too. But But most of the time, like most stores don't even do that. They'll just be like, nah, just leave it in there. GameStop got caught years ago for I can't remember what game it was, but there was like a demo copy for like another game that was within this game, right? It was on a separate disc inside of the that got shipped with the game, and GameStop employees were told to take them out and remove them, and GameStop took a shitload of crap over that. So because everybody else who didn't go to GameStop, they actually got the game. So that was a big thing in itself, which is actually kind of funny too if you think about it, because in a lot of ways you could look at GameStop and see the parallels with Darksydephil. Two businesses that needed to change with the times. GameStop didn't change until it was too late and then tried to do way too much. Phil did way too little when he changed. It wasn't much because all he was doing was bringing himself to the industry standard, which he was still behind on. And now he's too old, and to be honest with you, what he does is too obsolete. And now he's about to get faded out. And he's in so much debt that it's a matter of does he fade out, or does he just get crushed outright because of all of his financial obligations, and he loses everything. It's that's beyond being in between a rock and a hard place if you think about it.
How do I feel for YouTubers like the Runaway Guys and Chugga Conroy who only make Nintendo content? I feel pretty shitty for them. I do. I completely 100% empathize, sympathize. I feel really bad because here are guys who've done absolutely nothing but supported Nintendo since day one. I'm sure they're big Nintendo fans. And they're literally about to get ass fucked by Nintendo. And this extra, whether it's what they do for a living or not, I have no idea because I don't know about those guys. I don't watch their content. But I'm sure it's probably something that was a nice revenue stream, something that they were well known for, that they're now going to get completely butt-fucked by the company who they've only supported since day one. Nintendo sucks. I'm just looking for any more good questions. We're coming down to the nitty gritty here. I'm not seeing many that are any good. Then again, I can't really see them because they're going so fast.
There you go, Phil. Keep up with the lie. Keep up with the lie.
Alright, here's a loaded question. Would I want to do Project 7 again soon? I would have never stopped making Project 7 if it was my call. You know what I mean? Like, I would have kept going with it. I already had plans for the Halloween episode.
I mean, let's be honest. He wasn't doing much. Like, yeah, him, John, and Howard were writing the script for it, but how much do you really think Phil was contributing to it outside of these weird gay jokes that were kind of sprinkled in between that bullshit? He wasn't doing any of the editing. He wasn't doing any of the filming. John and Howard are on record saying, I don't know if I've ever done that for this channel. I don't even know if I've mirrored it for this channel. The John and Howard response. I need to. But, I really need to do that. But, Phil would just show up for filming and then be gone. And then that was it. He was out. Wouldn't even bring these guys, which is crazy. Wouldn't bring these guys food. Wouldn't bring them, wouldn't have a beer with these guys afterwards. Hey, great job, well done, so on and so forth. Came in, got his little piggy burns, his little piggy suntan, and he was out. So shows you what kind of an ungrateful bastard he was. So yeah, under those circumstances, I'm sure he'd want this to go on for many more episodes and or many more seasons.
Holiday special, and the next several episodes. Like, I already had them planned out in my head. I just cannot continue with the series because I don't have the know-how to do it, and I don't know anyone who does. I don't know anyone who's good at filmmaking.
Now, this is an interesting situation because Phil told us later on down the line, right, that, oh, well, after Project 7, fell apart, I had a friend that I used to go to school with, and they went to film school, and I could have done Project 7 with them. I could have resurrected it with them. And, you know, I could have done that, but I chose not to. You know, it is what it is. But I had that opportunity. I could have done that. Now, the funny thing is that story that Phil tried to throw at us mirrors exactly what Howard's story was. Because when you think about as Respect the Pack, that was Howard's family. Well, I think one of them was his cousin, but I think the other guy was like a friend that he went to school with, something like that. Those were his peoples, basically. You know what I mean? Those was people he knew that he was cool with and were there on kind of sort of on John's merit. So keep that in mind.
Who has camera equipment and such, who has anywhere near the level of editing skills that Respect the Pact had. And quite honestly, right now, with the way things are going, the fact that my contract got negotiated with Machinima and I am not making as much money as I was last year when I was dumping money into Project 7 on a monthly basis. I can't even I couldn't afford to hire a crew, like a professional crew, to do it. Would I continue Project 7 right now if I could? Yes, but it's just not possible. I don't have anyone to work on it. Will I be moving this year? Probably not. A moving process is a very ongoing, extended process. What I will probably be doing by the end of this year is seriously start considering different areas of the country that I want to move to, seeing what's available in those markets, seeing if there's anything that's like, a steal, possibly even making an offer on something. The problem is that this place right now, this condo I live in right now, is going to be pretty unsellable from what I'm seeing. It looks like a lot of the stuff in this area is up for sale. There are other units already for sale in this condo that are not selling because no one has money right now. And unfortunately, when I bought this place, I probably paid way too much money for it. And it's going to be a hard call whether I really want to wait it out, move to a new place, and keep trying to sell this place. Because I don't know if I can afford paying a mortgage on here and a mortgage for another place. I probably can't. I was thinking that maybe I
probably can't, but attempted to do it anyway, and it fucked them.
Could rent this place, but even then, renting it and making enough money to pay for the mortgage and the taxes and everything monthly, I don't know if I would be able to.
Now, when his aunt moved in, he was like, oh, she moved in and whatnot. She gave me, enough to cover it, plus or minus a couple $100. But that was okay because I could afford to piss that couple $100 away each month. At least I had the bulk of it. But that couple $100 each month that he was pissing away, that added up. So it came back to bite him yet again. Just pure stupidity, by the way.
So I want to move, but it's just not an easy thing. It's an ongoing thing. It's going to take a lot of time. I will seriously be looking into it by the end of this year, but it's probably not feasible unless I win the lotto tomorrow that I will be able to move by the end of this year. Alright, I'm going to take one more question, everyone, and then we're going to call it a night. I'm already losing my voice. I need it for tomorrow's playthrough. So last question. Let's see if we can get a good one. I'm trying to decide what question to pick here. Look at this. I already answered some of these questions. Alright, I guess I'll answer this one because this poor guy's asked it like 1,000 times. He's saying, in a playthrough like Fallout 3, I'm looking at the wrong camera. In a playthrough like Fallout 3, where I'm now redoing it, I'm going to replay the game from start to finish, including the DLCs, with direct capture, with live streaming, and, you know, I'm taking it more seriously this time, and I am doing things differently than I did the first time. Will I ever consider drinking while I'm playing it? And the answer is, I mean, is it out of the question? No. But at the same time, what I'm really trying to do with this playthrough is accomplish a lot of the stuff that I didn't do in my first playthrough. So, for example, completing a lot of the side missions that I didn't get the achievements for, which I still have like 2 or 3 of them because I fucked them up. One of them I killed all the people in the town because I was drunk. And, I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah, that's quite the gaming alcoholic we have here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, like this one, you know, one mission that I had where I fucking killed everybody because I was fucking drunk, and everybody had to go and get shot. You know, that's Phil Burnell for you, ladies and gentlemen. And like I said, you don't break habits like that. You don't break habits like that. When you've had that much leisure, and you get away with it for that long, and you're rewarded for it, even, it's very hard to give that up. And if Phil has the time to set aside for WWE championships, then you best believe you best believe to your last bottom dollar that he's not going to go dry on Tangeray or Sapphire or whatever he can get his hands on. More than likely Tangeray. There are years upon years of YouTube videos showing him with those huge 1.5 liter bottles with the handle of Tangeray in videos, 1, 2, 3 bottles at a time. You don't just give that up.
At this point, what being drunk would add to the playthrough. Keep in mind, the first time that I played the game, I'd never played it. So, being drunk, you know, I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know what was going on. You know, this time it would be like, well, even though I'm drunk, I'm probably still recognize what's going on in the game. All you hear is me slurring my words and falling asleep. And I don't know if that's something like...
Now, think about that for a minute. You know, now you hear me, I just slurring my words and falling asleep. Now I want you guys to think back to some of those night streams that we had in 2019. Even some of those late afternoon streams we had in 2019. Falling asleep during gameplay. Judgment is a good one. One of the Yakuza games, falling asleep, drifting in those chill streams and whatnot. Words seem kind of slurred, so on and so forth. I want you to think about all those things.
A bunch of people really want to see, to be honest. So, I don't know. It's not that, honestly, it's not that I haven't considered it. It's that I don't know if it would work. So, I guess we'll see what happens in the future. It's not out of the question, but it is a possibility. Alright, everyone. So that's it for tonight's stream. I mean, geez, I've been streaming for a good hour and a half to almost 2 hours now. It took quite a while to get through what I wanted to talk about. This stream will be archived here on Twitch. So if you missed any part of it, feel free to watch it. I think it'll be pretty entertaining for people. I'm now going to give my voice a rest because I'm already losing it. And tomorrow we're going to start Metro Last Light. So thanks a lot, everyone, for watching the stream. I will see you tomorrow for Metro Last Light. Peace out. It's the wrong one. Shit. There we go.
Wow. Oh man, that was eye-opening. Alright guys, give me just a second and kind of square this all up, and then I'll give you guys some what I'm thinking, final thoughts I guess, and then we'll close up. Oh boy.
Hey yo, I just want to say shout out to my red bike. It got stolen about a year ago, and I think about you every day. But you know, now I got a blue bike, and it's not the same, but it's a new life, a new journey. So rest in pedals, red bike, I love you. I like to bask in the tropics with a flask in my pocket. If you act an o'brolic, I'll start laughing and mocking like a charismatic.
All right, guys. So that's the end of that one. Some eye-opening stuff. You know what I'm saying? Some interesting revelations and whatnot. Some interesting opinions that he had back in the day that didn't hold no weight then. Hence the reason why they don't hold any weight now. It is what it is. King of contradictions is what he should be. Which is one of the best part of going back and looking at old DSP stuff is that he contradicts himself on everything. There's not one thing I think he's ever said on YouTube, let alone life, that he's stuck through. He's stuck to, I should say, no matter what. I don't have enough confidence in him to actually believe that. And that's kind of sad. But I'm not a fan, so it don't matter. That shit don't hurt me. That shit don't hurt me either which way. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get this done. I think that should be right. Alright. So anyway, guys. So that's the Q&A. Like I said, the original video, or at least my part 1 to this video, I'll leave in the description. Or I'll put it as one of the end cards. You guys can check that out. Excuse me. Hey, you guys can check that out at your leisure. It's zany shit. It's really zany shit. But I think the interesting part though is just Phil forgets his own lore so much, right? That now you guys can actually go back and actually see and hear what he actually said, what he actually thought about things, and how he contradicted himself now. Because Phil doesn't even remember his own past anymore. He's forgotten so much, it's ridiculous. And hence the reason why archive channels exist, to try to monitor, to try to keep up with that shit, because Phil's always lying about something. And he's one of these individuals who lies 1 minute and then tells the truth the next and forgets both. But then will disavow both comments later on down the line if it puts him at a disadvantage. You can't live like that. If he's okay with living like that, that's on him, but you can't live like that. Not online. Not when you have a group of people who you know who keep up with everything that you say, no matter how small or how big, because you never know. That one comment he makes, you never know how that shit may come back on him later on down the line. And so that's why people do what they do. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening in. I very much appreciate it. Yet again, I'll put the links to my part 1 to this video down in the description, or it'll be in the end cards. Also, check out the Museum of Unnatural Art of the Galtopia Museum of Unnatural Art. Check out either the YouTube channel, or you can also find it on Twitter. Also, on the front page of this, I have a recommended channels, and I have a bunch of people up there. I didn't know that because I'm an idiot, I didn't know if I put 20 different channels up there that they can't display all 20. So every time you come to the channel, if you guys are like on your desktop, for example, on your desktop, maybe on tablet too, maybe, you'll actually see, it'll actually rotate, or it'll scramble, I should say. It'll shuffle. That's the word I'm looking for. It'll shuffle through some of the different content creators that are there. Hopefully you check them out. You know what I mean? So give that a look. The Galtopian Museum of Unnatural the Galtopian Museum of Unnatural Art and History's YouTube channel is actually in there. And like I said, or you can also put it in on Twitter. They have a Twitter account as well, so you can check them out there. That's it, guys. Like I said, eventually I'll put that in my description because I need to do that, as well as some other things. But all right, guys, thank you guys very much for listening in. I very much appreciate it. Remember to support your local Snort Bucks coffee. Actually, there's one of these in the Galtopia Museum of Unnatural Art, so keep that in mind and whatnot. And I'll see you guys for the next video and whatnot. So I have a couple of these lined up for you. Take care of yourselves, guys.
I wanna live in Bolivia, be oblivious. I'm sick of always having to deal with these idiots. The ignorance is ubiquitous and it's hideous. When I get lucky, that's when I'm the wittiest. When people don't leave me alone, that's the shittiest. When people leave their phone at home, that's the prettiest. Going on a hike shouldn't be considered hippie shit. It's okay to spend some days away from your affiliates. Mother Nature's where I'm planting my seed. Do a dance in the breeze on the branch of a tree. I reside in my mind, that's the land of the free. I got the world in my palm, you should hand it to me. I can't copy or steal cause I got art etiquette. Sometimes I think that everyone's my arch nemesis. I've come to the conclusion my bike is my best friend. My worst enemies tend to be dead ends.